That's a good way of thinking about it in terms of like where it is. But if you were to stand on a podium and be throw a philosophy or your view to the masses, to the world, about the future of nuclear power, how would that go? Because there is still a lot of questions and people talking about, when you have a disaster in a nuclear reactor, it's a big issue. If you have a gas terminal blow up, it just blows up and that's all you get. But interestingly, in the war in Ukraine, that the way they approached the nuclear reactor was that it seemed that everybody understood that to blow that place up is not going to be a win-win or not going to be a win for them, for anybody. How do you look at the future of nuclear power if you were to, put your thinking hat on?
In terms of being part of the energy mix, if we recognise that renewables are going to have a really important role in the way that we meet our energy requirements going forward, we've also got to recognise that solar and wind in particular don't happen all the time. And right now we're relying on fossil fuels in order to meet the other requirements, and those fossil fuels are actually going up in price as well, and it's impacting prices globally. Uranium and nuclear energy is viewed as one of the main sources of clean energy other than hydro, but hydro has its own constraints based on the environment that it's operating in. The reality is that nuclear can operate in a very safe and an efficient way, and the technology has certainly improved over time in order to build in further redundancies. And if we actually go back and have a look at the history and the facts, the number of fatalities that have been associated with nuclear power is in the low end of town when you compare it to other sources like utilisation of coal or other forms. But as I said, if we were going to have this conversation, it's important to have that conversation and make our decisions based on fact and not fears. And I think that's one of the things that we've been sorely missing in this whole debate. And it would be great if in Australia we could have that discussion, because if going forward we want to be able to fill the gap that is going to be left by renewable energy alone, then nuclear is probably one of the most pragmatic and practical sources of clean power that we can actually utilise.